So before going to understand the topic of land, we will have a look over this information. And this information is 90% of world's population occupies only 30% of land. The remaining 70% of the land is either sparsely populated or uninhabited. So what we have understood from this information, that there is only 30% of land which is habitable, where the people can live, or where all the geographical and climatic conditions are favorable for the human life. But rest of the 70% of the land is not habitable. There the deserts are there, highly elevated mountains are there, the forested areas are there. So these are the regions where the people cannot live, or the life of the people is not easy. Therefore the 90% of the population occupies only 30% of the land, which is completely suitable for the human life. Means the plain land is there, the resources are available, the water is available, the fertile soil is available. Wherever these all the things are available, there the people are living. And this kind of land is only 30%. But the 70% of the land of the world is completely uninhabitable, or the climatic conditions or the geographical conditions of that region is not suitable for the life, or for the human life, or we can say this these areas of the 70% is completely uninhabitable. Now we are going to focus on the another topic, that is the land. So here we are going to understand the land. See, the land is among the most important natural resources. It covers only about 30% of the total area of the Earth's surface, and all parts of this small percentage are not habitable. See, the land is among most important resources. Why the land is among most important resources? Because the land is limited. Its magnitude is limited. It is not growing. The land is limited. All the things we can grow, but the land is the resource which is not growing. Right from the beginning of the earth, or right from the origin of the earth till now, the land area is the same, and we cannot increase or decrease it. And therefore the population is increasing, but the land is limited. It has a finite magnitude, we can say. And therefore land is among the most natural resources. It covers only 30% of the total area of the Earth's surface. Means, 70% of the area of the world is either water, or some areas of the land are completely uninhabitable. And therefore, here it is said that uh, about 30% of the total area of the Earth's surface, and all parts of the small percentage are not habitable. The uneven distribution of the population in different parts of the world is mainly due to the varied characteristics of the land and climate. You know, as all the resources are not evenly distributed on the earth, even the population is also not even everywhere on the earth. It is also differing region to region, or we can say the in different parts of the world. And this is mainly because of the different characteristics of the land and climate. Somewhere the plateau regions are there, somewhere the plain regions are there, somewhere the mountains are there. So in this way we can say the land is not same everywhere, and therefore we can say the characteristics of the land is not same everywhere. So as the land is there, or whatever the characteristic of the land is there, accordingly the population is distributed. Even climate, the climate is not good. If you will go in the northern pole or in the southern pole, you will see that completely cold climatic conditions are there. Even if you will go in the desert areas are completely uh, hot temperature is always there. In the daytime the temperature rises above 50 or 51 degrees Celsius, and in the night it is getting down to the freezing point of the temperature, and in this way the land and climate both are not even everywhere, and therefore we can say the distribution of population in different parts of the world is differing in the world. So the rugged topography, steep slopes of the mountains, low-lying areas are susceptible uh, for water logging. Deserted areas, thick forested areas are normally sparsely populated or uninhabited plains, and river valleys are suitable land for agriculture. Hence, these are the densely populated areas of the world. So, what is explained in this points that which areas are habitable and which areas are not habitable. See, the land which is having a rugged topography or completely uneven topography, there the population of the world is less. Wherever the steep slopes are there on the land of the mountain, we can say that there also the population is sparse. Even in the low-lying areas that is susceptible for water logging, these regions are also not habitable because these areas which are susceptible for the water logging are prone to continuous floods, and therefore the people are not living there. There are some desert areas. There are some desert areas where the climatic conditions and even the land is not favorable for the human life, and therefore the people are not residing over there, or the distribution of the population is completely sparse. Um, Thick forested areas are normally sparsely populated. Yes, even the thick forested areas are normally sparsely populated or uninhabited. That means that you know very well that the forested areas, which are completely thick forested areas, are not habitable. Why? Because the thick forested areas are not suitable for the human settlement, and it is the thick forested areas are the habitat of the animals as well as the thick thick distribution of the trees and plants, and therefore these areas are also not habitable. So which areas are there where in the world which are completely habitable? We can say the plain regions or the river valleys are suitable for agriculture. Hence, these are densely populated areas of the world. See, plains, river valleys, in this region you will see normally the on the flat stretches of the land the life is very easy. The people can do different kind of activities over there. You know, the plain regions are also fertile, therefore it is suitable for the agriculture. Normally in the plain regions the rivers are available, and the rivers are the source of the water. So in this way we can say the plain regions, river valleys, as well as we can say the flat stretches of the land which are completely fertile are densely populated. Why these are densely populated? Because on the plain lands we can do the agriculture also, we can have the water also. Even in the plain land the climatic conditions are also good, and therefore we can say that these regions are densely populated in the world. We can take the example of the northern plains of our India, where UP means Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Punjab. These regions of our country are densely populated area, we can say, or we can include these regions among the world's highly populated areas because of its suitability for the human life, as the fertile soil is available, as the we can say the water is available, and even the climatic conditions are also good. The life is very easy in this region. Now after understanding these points, we are moving towards the another point, that is land use. Now land use, what is land use? Basically the when we use the land for the different purposes. What? When we use the land for different purposes, such as agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses, roads and setting up of industries. These are all the usages of the land, and this is commonly termed as the land use. This is commonly termed as the land use. So we can say here simply that uh, the land is used for different purposes, and these different purposes of using the land is called as the land use. And therefore here it is said land is used for different purposes such as agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses, roads, and setting up of industries. This is commonly termed as land use. Can you list out different ways in which Mambas and Peter's family use their land? Yes, definitely we can list out the differences between the land use of the Mambas family and the Peters family. Can you remember? Mamba's family and Peter's family's uses of the land. We will have a overlook over this point once again. So here you can say the Mamba's family, they are having they are having a small land where they are growing maize, beans. After toiling hard, they are getting this all the things. And if you will go towards the Peter's family is having you can see here that Peter's family is having the shipyard, as well as they are having the agricultural land also, where they are growing the organic farming or organic vegetables and all that, and their shipyard is managed in a scientific way. So in this way we can say their usages of the lands are different, where there is the the Peters family is having the